Hi, welcome to the After Show for Game of Thrones Riverlands Episode 1!
Woo!
No one died yet.
No one died, but Theron got his head kicked in.
I was surprised. I
Let's be
took some
honest.
actual I actually took some damage from your character, Maggie, and I was really afraid of that, but it didn't hurt as bad as the last time.
Oh, when we did our test session?
Yeah, it didn't hurt quite as bad.
That whip man is so crazy.
Yep. Oh.
Yeah, like to fight you, it's like stay away from your range and
No,
get
you
rid
did
of
the
that.
right thing, though. You were like, okay, whip. Yoink.
Take it.
No whip.
Yep. Take it.
Yeah.
But still, like, actually getting damage on Luvina. How does your defense work again?
So I have a
2 AC.
yeah. So I have a base is 13. But I have something called acrobatic defense, which basically takes my acrobatics die and I'm allowed to double them and add it to it. So it's my
shield one.
yeah.
That's
So
nice.
my acrobatics is 4 on top of the 4 agility. So with just the 4 acrobatics, you double it. That's 8. 8 to 13 is 21. And then if my blade is in my offhand, because the Bravosi blade specifically is in my offhand and I don't use it, it becomes a defensive weapon because I can parry with it.
Downside of
so-
it is that it takes a half action and only lasts for the turn, and you cannot wear any bulk armor when doing it.
Correct.
you
So that's
can't-
why she has nothing on but light leather.
So if you
Yeah,
hit
that's
her,
like
she's
my
only
shield.
2 reducing damage. So probably
But I have to points and shield in order to get my benefit. So I actually have to spend experience
well,
on
no,
it.
Levina
On
has to do the
top of
same,
it.
'cause she has to spend in acrobatics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Acrobatics can apply to a lot of things. Shields is just like it only applies to shields.
Shields actually allows you to use a better shield. Because like otherwise you can't use
for
better
sure. But I mean,
shields.
like you can do a lot with acrobatics that's outside of like.
To an extent, I
Yeah.
think acrobatics is quite limited in this system.
um,
But
we'll see when she's climbing shit and doing crazy things.
There's actually a
Right.
climb, and climb is based on strength. I looked
Yeah.
at that.
So-
Oh yeah,
athletics
yeah,
only.
that's right.
Climb and
is-
jumps all based on strength.
acrobatics is
That's
actually
right.
very, very niche.
Yeah, I have run as well because I put points in run in order to make it so I could actually move.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I would be like so
Same.
slow.
Same here. I was walking along like 2 yards a turn or something. I was like,
Yeah, same.
put points
Because
in run.
half plate is full bulk.
Half plate is
Or
3
4
bulk, I think. I think it's your shield is at least 2 bulk. So that makes you 2, yeah.
The other thing too is this was like a tournament because so Lavina fought nobly, but she's a very dirty fighter. Like if this had been a to the death kind of thing, I would have grappled you and put a dagger in your neck. Like there would have been no like I would have made it would have been so super different. So that was the other thing is like Luvina's coming into something that is battle warfare and that is not what she's trained to do.
Well, you wouldn't attack them when they're in armor. You'd just be like,
Or
I'm
I
gonna
wouldn't
wait
attack them
until
when they're in armor, or I'd wait till they took a helmet off and then I'd throw a dagger at your head. Because I did take some marksman stuff. So like that's the other thing is like this is so far out of Luvina's normal means of like how she was trained as a combatant. She just thought tourneys are not her thing.
Yeah. Realistically, how I saw the battle going was Andrea disarms you with the whip. You attack her. Andrea disarms you with the sword. You can't attack her unless you pick up a weapon. If you pick up a weapon, you're going to take
She
ages to
gets
pick
an
it up.
attack.
Or, well, if she tries to move and pick up on the same turn, no acrobatic defense, Andrea instantly does like a wound or something.
The other thing too is my snake wasn't with me.
Yeah. Normally you get +1 on
Yeah.
dice because of the snake.
Well, and that's what I was telling people is like this is actually like full on this is what I'm skilled at. Whereas like Theron and Luvina are not like you're both at a disadvantage in this fight because you don't have all your stuff. Like Theron doesn't have his like uber sword that he normally would use.
Technically, Andrea, you should have had the shattering quality on your Morningstar, which would have reduced armor by 1 every time you hit someone.
That's true. And I didn't use my bludgeoning stuff as much because I
Yeah.
didn't want to. I was trying to make the fight.
Your
more
bludgeoning
fun.
stuff is really good against Theron, not very good against Lavina. It's mostly anti-armor and like if you hit by many degrees and stuff like that. Against Lavina, you need every dice you
The
can get.
armor one is not good against her, but the other one that makes it so she can roll less dice is good.
Yeah, but it's less number. It's not dice. It's a minus number.
Minus number.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been thinking about
Oh yeah, -1 number.
It's
now
a
I
check
can buy my sword. I don't have to borrow swords. That's a plus.
Yep.
So that's
Also,
got to happen.
sacrificing bonus dice against Lavina would have been a bad idea. You'd have never hit her.
Yeah, and that's why I ultimately was like
Yeah.
not gonna do it because she has a really high DC to hit her.
That said, I didn't actually expect Lavina to crush Hoster quite so much, even though he was ill. I still expected that to be a... You crushed him.
Yep. I did.
Yeah.
That was just no contest.
That was actually embarrassing to listen to.
Yeah.
Like that kid got thoroughly whooped.
So it was like, I kind of like, there was a, so I know, but chat was like, Luvina, I don't trust her. She's poisoned everything. Like, is it just a Dornish thing? Like, you guys just don't like, does everybody just not like the Dornish? Like, we all know that they're.
I imagine that's what it is. I imagine.
Yeah, I think it's because you're like different and snakier, like the
Everybody's mildly racist in this world, basically.
Yeah. But basically, like, everybody's like, we can't possibly trust her. But she's been totally loyal to the family.
Yeah, I imagine so. That's why I character.
I liked that conversation towards the end with you two. That was cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, I loved all of the what's his name? Caliph. Caliph.
Yeah, I was extremely surprised with Caliph because I was like, bastard son, gonna want to use up power, but surprisingly loyal to family.
I mean, I'm sure if you can tell, like my father seems to be he has like he gives me fear, like he respects me. I'm not saying like Caliph is a completely pure person, obviously, but he has no reason to play the.
I do find it's interesting though, like in a meta way. You were talking a lot about really not wanting your sister to go to Dorne, whether that's like legit or you were using it as like a mechanism for getting what you wanted out of the other person. Like I find that
it was
too.
I mean, out of game, and especially because I made the roll, that was me fishing for info.
Fishing for info.
I assumed it was fishing.
I rolled
for
a deception plus bluff roll, and just so he would buy whatever it is I'm selling.
I was gonna say, well, it's a good thing I didn't take him to the wine closet because that was my plan. To have him take me to the wine closet and seduce him.
I like that he said something different to both of you.
Yeah. No, I don't trust him. My grandiose out of game theory that I kind of pieced together very, very quickly is that I believe he's trying to free up Lyanna and he's trying to pin Stone and you as the poisoner.
Correct.
Just to I don't know if he meant to kill Victor, if this is true. I don't know if Victor was meant to die, but him dying actually probably helps a whole lot. Yeah, I think there's position, just the maneuvers trying to weaken positions, not necessarily kill them off, to send you back to Dorne and free up Lyanna to be married. I think it could be as simple as Stone is just he needs money really bad, and he's just taking what he can and poisoning who he can. But
yeah,
the marriage seems a lot more reasonable.
Yeah,
it just makes the most sense with how he was trying to, with how I picked up on some of his inflections in the conversation early on.
The whole thing about his wife being sick too.
Yep.
Like if they set up the two families together early on, if she does die,
I have like a sketchy like timeline sketched out as to how I think the crime happened.
I like it. I love that you were being all detective. I was like, this just isn't my character's thing.
Oh,
I think
it's my character. The only thing my character's good at. My character can't fight. He can't. He's not. He's got a marksman score of 1. He's got a melee score or fighting score of 1. But he's got an eidetic memory. He's very persuasive. He can bluff. He can insight. He's aware. Like he looks and listens and speaks when needed, and that's pretty much his shtick.
Oh, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
No,
totally.
Stadewall. I did not think Stadewall was going to be that much of a fucking wall. Jesus Christ! You just.
Well, here's the thing. Like well, I mean, hopefully it comes out in the lore, but we'll see, because I don't know how often I'll be on as a character. But like her thing is that she's always wanted to be a fighter. Like that's her whole entire life. She just wants to be a knight, and it's not something that her family is really approving of. But she's also like the 4th daughter in our family, and like there's
so you have nothing.
Like 12. I have 12, like 11 other siblings. So it's she kind of gets forgotten in there, and I'm about the age where I'm probably gonna get betrothed to somebody, but I don't like.
So spending a lot of time away from home means that they can't marry you off.
Exactly.
You can't marry me if you can't find me.
I'm actually curious to see Theron fight with his actual weapon, though. If he did
that,
oh god,
it's gonna
don't want to.
scary.
If that happens, things have gone very, very wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, also you chose to fight with spear instead of a normal sword, which is your normal.
Well, I was going to have Theron, after severely whooping that Robert Reimer, spend some time with the kid and just teach him swordmanship, and then be like,
Go
I
for
should
it.
probably make this a more interesting tournament after just ending that in Let's put on a show. Okay, I'm out here to test myself and to find a wife. So, next bout, that happened. Well, one of them.
That was really fun.
You could still.
I liked our duo. It was really fun.
That was so much fun.
Had more time to put towards Luvina's and I's, but I still think that was a highlight.
Crazy close.
It was so good. Ooh.
I think if we'd have done it to one less wound, I'd have slightly given the odds to Theron winning because he can hold out long. He's got high endurance, but only slightly.
Well,
he would have.
Theron dealt your full wounds first, right?
Dealt one wound and 2 injuries.
Yeah, you would have.
Oh, yeah, of course, because it's swapped.
Yeah, 3 injuries.
You would have probably taken me out before, so.
Yeah, you filled her injury track, and I think gave 1 wound. If you'd given 1 more wound, she'd have been dead.
Yeah, we would have changed how we would have done stuff for sure, though.
Yeah. So,
we did it even because we both were privy to the same.
It was the most ridiculously even fight. I'd have probably given it slightly more to Josh just because of he has that extra wound, which you didn't.
Totally.
But
he's built to be survival oriented. He can withstand a lot. And put out some punishing blows, but mostly he just survives.
Yeah. I like the idea that Andrea, she's strong, but she's also, without her armor, she's not, she's still like us, not that tanky.
Yeah. After the tournament, Theron would spend a lot of time trying to get a drink with Andrea.
Oh.
He's
looking for a wife too. Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, no, the first note I wrote under Theron is weakness for women ? Because of just how you were speaking to everybody, every girl that you came across.
Except for Luvina.
I thought he flirted with you a little bit.
He tried. She shut him down.
Oh, but he tried. So that's the.
I guess that's true. She did. He kind of tried. Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't try very hard, though.
He did not try very hard.
Okay. The big question, though. Andrea, do you get a drink with Theron?
Oh, yeah, she would.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Do you do more with Theron?
I don't know. We'd have to roleplay out that.
Okay, I want you to hit me up in Discord because there's going to be time skips galore going on, and I need to know what's going on in the background.
Yeah, but I feel like there'd have to be things that happen. I don't know. So probably not then in that case, and definitely not that for sure not, because that is not her thing.
So just like second base, okay.
Also, E, were you very selective about your words when you talked about who Liana is supposed to marry for a reason? You were very vague.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. I wanted to make sure you did that on purpose.
I didn't want to introduce yet another subplot really early on. I was like, I'm going to try and avoid this subplot, so...
Yeah, but then there was the whole, Okay.
Ooh, now I'm like, ooh.
So, how did the other two come into this?
Oh, yeah.
We cut back to the house. We time skip a few days back to the house. Maybe even... Probably a few months, actually.
Oh, wow.
We're going to be skipping a lot.
So next session is 2 months skip?
Probably about that, yeah. I'll figure out exactly how long it's going to be, but it's going to be a few months.
Is this a whole poison plot going to be kind of like, it was probably Stone? Maybe I'm overthinking it, or
you could continue to investigate. The problem is the tournament's going to be over, and...
That's what I was figuring.
Stone's gone.
It's probably... If it's something like that, where it doesn't ever come up again, or it doesn't come up for a long time, or nobody's ashamed of it, then
at the same time, the Game of Thrones is played over a long time, especially in peacetime.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, I still got my notes. So
I think Andrea is definitely looking like that. That's on her list of if she hears any word of someone matching his description or anything like that.
I've cursed myself giving myself eidetic memory or whatever, because I'm gonna have to just note take everything. I need to remember.
I've been that character before.
Yep.
Oh man. So people aren't going to really know why my character was there either, because if we're going to skip months ahead. That's interesting.
Yeah, but you'll be back around.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh, you had you had more than just the tournament reason for being there?
Yeah.
How interesting.
More interesting plotting things. Yeah, I know. I'm curious to see how this is all. It's very interesting.
Yeah, and
Go ahead.
No, He's such a conniver. I was gonna keep it a big old secret that Luvina had a thing happening with the eldest daughter, but you had to make that like, gotta get that in this first episode.
I loved it because the shipping goes right away. I love it.
Well,
Yeah,
people started to love Andrea too much, and I was like, okay, I've got to throw the other woman at them harder. So let's send the love relationship round.
Well, Andrea did say something when Luvina and her were talking, but
about me and you said something about me and Liana?
No.
Oh.
Something towards you.
Oh, did I miss that?
Both.
It was the beginning, the first.
Both your
few
characters
words.
have lascivious. It's just gonna be like putting two sexual magnets next to each
Oh,
other. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
shit, that's what we should have played on the damn battlefield. Why are we swinging swords? We should have been wrestling.
Just get ready to throw
Andrea,
jello at you.
I wasn't really going to him, so I think we were because we were just trying to like go fast. So if we were, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wish we could have actually played out like how we.
Yeah, I will look very forward to like more role play and less combat because like Lavina's not really a combat character. So
So it's
I'll be
combat in
really
a very
excited.
different sense as well. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a very different kind of combat.
Either way, thank you for watching the after show.
I was also I think it's interesting too because there's all this hierarchy with like people, right? And where
I needed
they're
to introduce the Malisters in episode 1 because they are your liege lords. So
yeah, so it's like you have to eat like you have this like interesting hierarchy, and then also even within like the sections of housing, like even though like Theron and I are both in minor houses, I still think like his house might be more well known than my house, right? So
his
it's
house
still
is
like
ancient and well known. It's not particularly powerful.
Yeah, so
but,
and that's why she was always like, if he was speaking, not speaking, right? Like I very much was like quiet sometimes because of that, because like if he's talking, then I don't want to talk over him.
Also, he's a sir in a place where knights are more expected than the north, and also
Exactly.
you're a woman.
And so, for my clarification, Hoster's the one with the sick wife.
No.
His
Hoster's my brother. He's the sick one.
sick one.
Yeah.
Right. No, I'm sorry.
Clearbrook.
Clearbrook is the one that is Walter. That's right.
That's the one that told you he
Walder.
wasn't married.
Your book is the one who wants in your pants.
Like-
That's okay.
If I was to guess, likely he's not lying to me and he's lying to you because he wanted to bone.
Correct.
That's my guess.
Which is totally fine. I just
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Now I'm glad to know that now because that whole conversation happened for good reason. She needed to know how interested he was so that she can use it against him.
Of course.
I feel like Luvina was like kind of grossed out by him.
Oh, she was super grossed out, but it's not the first time gross ass men and every person she comes in contact with sexualizes her.
Oh, for sure not. But it was just like you were like playing along with it, and I could tell like you had this like look on your face, like, ew.
I would totally stab you in a closet somewhere. It's fine. That's okay. That'll happen. But the good news is, if he'll let me in his pants, I have all control of the situation.
I think Luvina and Kalith are going to get along fine.
Oh, we're going to get along super well.
I loved the conversation with you two in the tent. Like that was
a
cool.
good conversation. I just need to pull out one of my 4 contingency envelopes, and one of them is like Caliph Lavina, another one is Caliph Declan, Caliph Ithleen. Keep all my contingency envelopes around.
Yeah,
The hard part for me, I think, playing this character, but I mean, I think I'll do all right just because I have experience, but this is going to be keeping track of the lies I tell people and the truths I tell others. So I'm going to need a lot of like,
what do you mean? Lying characters?
This person, here's what I told
Keeping track of lies? I don't know what you're on about.
You should get, when I have to keep lies, I get sticky notes.
Yeah.
And I categorize them by like, how bad the lie was, meaning like how intense it is.
This is
so,
a
like,
red sticky note lie.
This is a red sticky note. This is just a yellow sticky note. I can get away with this one. Yeah, that's usually how I do my lying.
This is a book of the Grave War.
I do like notes. I think Mathis and I might be very similar. Like in my notes, I have like every person and then like what I've told them.
Yeah,
so kind of like
a page dedicated to each character, and then the just like random plot garbage written on random pages.
Yeah.
By the way,
and I also like keep what I know versus what
Matt
knows. Like like my character knows versus what I know, because like sometimes like we're referencing something and someone's like, oh, what was that person? What was their name? And I was like, oh my. But like my character doesn't know that stuff, so it's.
By the way, if you want to know what your stats for your house are, this is on a scale of 0 to 70.
Okay.
Your defense is 33. Pretty decent. You've got
Whose
influence.
house?
This is for Rook.
I was gonna say.
An influence of 21.
Ugh.
Lands of 30.
Okay. Property.
Law of 18.
Lore of 18?
Lawlessness. Yeah.
Lawlessness.
Lawlessness.
Law,
not
lore.
Lore. I was like, lore. What do they know? Why are they so?
That's what I was going to say. The lawlessness thing. I am convinced the phrase are just sending bandits into your land.
yeah.
The phrase are horrible.
Population 31, power 24, wealth 30. But yeah, your law is like FY when it comes around to stuff your house needs. It's your lawlessness. You're literally.
I'm really excited to meet. Well, for Bub for sure, but Miss Magitech's character, because Tracy's character is like she's part of the family, so it's going to be really interesting to see that side of the story.
To an extent, it's important because while I wanted to introduce the Malisters, I also want to introduce the Lord and the Heir, because next session they'll be there but a little less present, and then the third session onwards they're going to be like mostly doing stuff without you, and then you can do stuff, etc., and they won't be constantly controlling your lives because they're the.
And I'm afraid of when Bentham's character comes involved, because if he's involved, I think something bad is going to happen.
Oh, I know exactly why he's going to be there.
Yeah, he's in the Night's Watch, so I'm like, oh god.
I know exactly why he's there.
It's going to be bad.
Oh, this would be so interesting. I'm glad you asked about my snake too. Like the whole, I have a whole piece of like family lore for my family written about the passing off of snakes, and I did not expect anybody to.
I was hoping I wish that we would have had more time for that scene, because I think like for my character, like, and I know we had to, because we didn't have a lot of time going on, but I think for my character it's really interesting too, because she's all about tradition and lawfulness, and like that's her thing, but I think my traditions are very, very different than that, and so I would have loved to continue that conversation more.
Yeah, there were a lot of things like I didn't get to tell you it was my second snake.
Oh, really?
That would be
which is
cool.
really important about why the second snake. Yeah, that's a big plot line piece that I'm going to.
Well, maybe we'll get to talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about Lavina's first ever snake.
Yeah, my first snake. It's not as exciting as it sounds, I promise.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe it is.
Hey, I have a sword named after something. Yeah. That's interesting.
Eventually, yeah. So many things.
That's a good point.
It'll be fun.
I don't have a name.
You need to name that sword. It's a badass sword. You need to name it. Everyone.
Yeah, that sword is like you real badass. You need a name for it.
That sword is probably worth as much as, like, maybe Andrea's house.
Jesus.
Yes.
How are you affording that sword? Wait, how is he affording that sword?
Right? He didn't buy it. It's handed down in the family.
What?
His family is an ancient family. He's got that.
Oh, that's true.
Either way, thank you for watching the after show, and hopefully you enjoy the next one.
Bye.